Hey guys, it's Ashley and welcome back to my channel. So I get a lot of questions on Instagram on how I maintain my eyebrows and how I fill them in on a daily basis when I put my makeup on. Now that I have a YouTube channel, I thought I would come on here and share step by step on how I grew my eyebrows and how I fill them in. I do share a lot of amazing tips that you don't want to miss out. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up at the very end and subscribe. And I hope that you love this video. So keep on watching. So normally I don't trim my eyebrows once a week. I probably go every other week depending on the time of the year. And what I mean about that is I find that my hair grows quicker in the summertime with the heat outside, and of course if I'm taking a multivitamin, which I do. So some months are different, some weeks are different. It just depends on the time of the year, I find, for me personally. So when I'm putting my brows on and I'm filling them in and I'm brushing them, I can kind of know if they need to be trimmed by obviously the longer hairs that are sticking up when I brush them up and I'm about to put my brow gel on. That's usually an indication right there that, okay, it's time to trim your eyebrows. So I don't do it weekly, like I said. I might do it once or twice a month. It just totally depends on the time of the year. So to get started, I usually examine my eyebrows. I find both of my eyebrows are not the same. I don't know if you can relate, but when I look in the mirror, I usually see that my eyebrows are sometimes not symmetrical. So maybe the thicker part of the eye is not the same as over here. Maybe one eyebrow grows longer than the other. It's really weird and I can't explain it. If you know the reasoning to that, please comment below and let me know. But anyway, usually I trim them, like I said, twice a month, and I pluck them at the same time whenever I see long hairs. Now, I don't get my eyebrows waxed. I used to about 2 years ago, and when I started using retinol, like I used a different retinol back in the day, I noticed that when I got my eyebrows waxed, it made the skin underneath my eyebrows really sensitive. And it's not like I put the retinol product underneath my eyebrows either. It just somehow seeps to that area once you put the retinol on, and I thought, okay, this is really uncomfortable, like I need to stop doing that. So I just started training myself to pluck them whenever I need to, and I just maintain the center and whatnot. But like I said, my eyebrows don't grow a whole lot, so I really don't need to spend the money and go and get these things done. So I just do them myself and everything's good. So the first step that I do is I pluck before I trim my eyebrows. Now I will usually pull out my zoomed in mirror. I have one in the bathroom. I don't have it here to show you. My little hand mirror here. But I usually get a zoomed in mirror by 10 times. And those mirrors are absolutely amazing if you really want to see like what's on your face, but it's good to see all the little hairs that you can't normally see when you look in a regular mirror. So I usually pull one of those out and I just go to town and I start plucking. And I have a few hairs on my eyebrows right now that I can pluck, so I'm going to show you. But I usually just examine the areas and I just start plucking. Now I don't worry too much about the blonde hairs because I really don't care about that. You don't see it when you have makeup on. It's just the black hairs, obviously, that I care about. But if the blonde hairs do bother you, just get that mirror, like I said, and just start plucking. But for me, I just don't really care about those. And I find that I get these little hairs down here as well. And I might get like one or two down in this weird spot right here. So I just pluck underneath of the areas that I see, and I also pluck on top as well. I used to get this part waxed back in the day, and I thought, you know what, I can easily achieve this by plucking because most of it is blonde hair, but you do get the odd dark hair up here. So I just thought, just pluck it, like why not? So I just do this until I'm content, and then of course I will do the other eyebrow, which right now I don't really have much at the moment. There we go. And then just a couple on top. And then I will then pluck the center. Now I do have a lot of blonde hairs in the center, and I try to really focus to remove those as best I can. and that's when that other mirror comes in handy, because I really can't see when I'm using a regular mirror. Now when I do this, I usually pluck my eyebrows and trim my eyebrows when I have no makeup on. I just find it's a lot easier. I'm sure you get the gist of this anyways, but I just find it's easier without any makeup on your face. So once I tweeze my eyebrows, I'm then going to trim them. And what you do is you just get a spoolie brush. You can use any spoolie brush you want. I will link some tools below for you if you don't have any at home as options. But just grab a spoolie brush and grab a mirror and just start brushing them upward. Now I know a lot of people may brush them downward and trim them that way, but I just find it's a lot easier if you brush them upward, because you can really see the long hairs up above where you got to trim them. Okay, so once you've brushed your eyebrows upward, you're then going to grab a pair of eyebrow scissors. Now I have these, I've had these for a really long time. There's different types on the market. There's longer, pointier ends, there's shorter ends like what I have here. There's a lot to choose from. So if you have a pair already, definitely use the pair that you have. And if not, again, I've linked a couple below for you. So I'm gonna try and do this with one hand. Normally I'm not holding a mirror and doing this at the same time. Usually I have two hands, but for the sake of this video, I'm gonna try really hard to show you what I do. Is I start from the tail of the eyebrow and I work my way to the fatter part of the eyebrow. And I just position the eyebrow scissors like parallel, and I just start cutting and trimming the little long hairs that are longer than the rest of the hair. And I just trim those only. I don't touch anything else. Now my eyebrows aren't too bad right now, and I'm sorry for the lighting. It's like, it's sunny and then it's cloudy. So if the lighting keeps changing, I apologize. So that's all I basically do, and I hope that you saw that. So again, I start from the tail of the eyebrow, and once the eyebrow hair is brushed upward, I then just cut the longer hairs and leave the shorter hairs alone, so that it's all the same length and it's even. And you might have to do this a couple of times. The eyebrow scissors may flatten the brow down, so you may have to keep brushing them upward and keep trying. But it doesn't take me very long at all. It might take me like a couple of minutes to do if I'm really taking my time, and that's it. And then you're done and you're good for a couple of weeks to a month, depending on how fast your eyebrow hair grows. So I just take my time and I just lightly cut the hairs. That's all I do. I just basically brush them upward, I cut, I brush them upward again to make sure that I did get all those long hairs. It looks like I did for this eyebrow. And I just examine them and just see if there's any spots that I missed. And if it looks good, then I'm done. Okay, so once all the grooming and the trimming is done, I'm going to show you what I do on a daily basis when I put my makeup on to fill in my eyebrows. Now, I don't need to fill them in a lot, as I do have thick eyebrows naturally, but there are some areas that I have, especially in the thicker part of the eyebrow, that are a little bit sparse. I'm not going to complain too much because they're really not that bad, but when you look in the mirror you can just see the differences, and it's like, okay, why can't you guys just be twins? Like, come on. So the product that I use to fill in my eyebrows is by Anastasia Beverly Hills, and this is their Brow Powder Duo in the color taupe. And I really love this product. It lasts a long time on your eyebrows, and it also lasts a long time in the packaging as well. I bought this last summer and I still haven't even hit pan yet. So you definitely get your money's worth with this product. A little bit goes a long way, and I feel like this product never runs out. So I just absolutely love that. And as you can see, there's a darker side and a lighter side. Now normally on a daily basis I will mix the two together, but some days I might just use the lighter and sometimes I might just use the darker side only. It just depends on what kind of day I'm having and what kind of look that I'm going for. What I use to apply the brow powder is with an angled eyebrow brush. Now you can use any angled eyebrow brush. I find this works the best for me. So I'm going to mix the two together, and normally at this point I would brush my eyebrows upward again, but I've already done that for this video, so I'm not going to do it again. And I start at the thicker part and I work my way down to the tail. And I don't like to put a lot of product at first because I just find that it's easier to work like minimal at a time, and if you need more you have the option to add more. If you start too thick, then your eyebrows are just going to be too dark and it's just going to be a mess. So start with the sparse areas that you have. So for me, it's more down here, and I always start at the base and apply most of the product there so it gives more definition, and then just lightly stroke upward. And again, like I said, my area is like right here. This eyebrow is actually the good eyebrow, so I don't need a whole lot in this section like my other eyebrow would, but I still fill it in a little bit. And then whatever's left on my brush, I just go down the tail of my eyebrow. Okay, so now I'm going to do my other eyebrow. And I'm just going to do light strokes again. And right here is where it doesn't match my other side. So I find that, and I'm hoping you can see this, I have to put more product in this little spot here to make it even to the other side. You can tell they're a little bit darker, but they're not too dark, and I just love doing my brows because I just find it just shapes and defines your face, your features, and it just, like, your eyebrows stand out. Like when I look at people and they have a really nicely done eyebrow, I just find like my eye just gets drawn to that spot, and it just like accentuates the nice features on your face. So I always love to do my eyebrows. So if you're gonna do one thing, do your eyebrows, but have a gentle hand and don't do it too dark. Before I put brow gel on, I like to highlight underneath my brow bone. Now, there's no specific order to do this. I just like to do the highlight first and then my brow gel, and I'm done. I feel like the gel is like the final step. So I'm actually using the Anastasia Beverly Hills, the Highlighter Duo pencil, and it's double-ended, and one end has like a shimmer and the other end is a matte, and they're very neutral in color. I think I have the one that, you know what, I've sharpened it so much that the names have came off, but I will link it below, the exact one that I have. But I like to use the shimmery side just to give a little bit of nice glowiness and highlight underneath the brow bone. But I do use the matte side as well. It just depends on what kind of makeup look I'm going for that day. But you do have to sharpen this quite a bit, and it is a thicker pencil. And I just gently highlight underneath my brow bone. And I do like to go a little bit underneath the thicker part. Okay, just like that. Now, depending on where I'm going, what kind of makeup look I'm going for, and if I really want to be glammed up, I will clean up and make sure that everything is really nice and clean on the upper eyebrow to make it really stand out. So I will go in with a little concealer, and the concealer that I use is the MAC Studio Finish Concealer in NC25, and it's in a little pot like this, and I actually use this to spot conceal any blemishes that I'm having. But I definitely don't do this every day. I just don't think it's necessary. But if I want to be all glammed up and I'm going somewhere special, I will take the extra time and do on top of my eyebrow. So I will show you in this video what I do. And I'm sure you've all seen it before, but I'm just going to show how I do it. So I get a concealer brush like this that has a pretty thin end on it. And I put a little bit on the brush. And I just kind of like lightly go across and trace my eyebrow up top. And this just blends right in. and then obviously I'll just go in with my finger and just kind of blend that in just a little bit. And it's nothing dramatic, but it just cleans it up a little bit more and makes it more defined. So I'm going to do my other eyebrow now. So once that is all done and I like the way my eyebrows look and everything is complete, I will then set my brows with a brow gel. And the brow gel that I use is also by Anastasia Beverly Hills, and it's their clear brow gel. Now this brow gel is absolutely amazing. It stays in place all day, and you know how like sometimes you can use an eyebrow gel and you get the flakiness and then your eyebrows start to move around? Well, with this, you're never gonna get that. It stays in place all day and it gives a nice natural finish too, so they don't look wet, they don't look dry. They just stay in place all day, and this is truly a great product, and a little bit goes a long way too. I used to use clear mascara back in the day to set my eyebrows, and I don't know what I was thinking, because later in the day you would see your eyebrows kind of like messed up and moved all over the place, and as soon as I invested in this and I tried it for the first time, I'm like, okay, I have been missing out completely in the eyebrow world. So if you want a really good brow gel, definitely pick this up. You will not be disappointed, I guarantee you that much. So I'm gonna put it on right now, and there's nothing special about this. It's just like a brow brush, or a spoolie I should say, and I brush upward. Always upward. It makes it nice and full and natural. And I just love doing this. If I feel like I'm having like a rough day and I don't have time to fill in my eyebrows, or I'm just not well enough to do it, I will just put brow gel on, brush my eyebrows upward, and I still feel like I'm put together. I just love to have my eyebrows nicely brushed upward and in place, and even by doing that, like, your eyebrows still looked really nice and defined. So that concludes my eyebrow tutorial, and I really hope that you found it helpful and that you will use some of these steps for yourself to get the eyebrows that you want. And like I said, this is my most asked question on Instagram, so I'm glad that I created this video for all of you, as this could be a guide to get your eyebrows to the exact shape and style that you want them in. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you in my next video. See you guys.